Good evening, it's Vikram Sareen, Chief Architect with Mula Technologies. Today we are quickly going to look at image authentication integration. So first we're going to look at the jar files that were going to be provided along with the configuration files. And then we're going to look into the create API. So basically when the user comes for the first time, you want to create the user. So then only the authentication can be assigned. So which could be in terms of password, OTP, or image authentication. And then after that we will do the image auth registration. So we'll go through the experience and we'll also talk about the pages that are involved. And then after that we will have a quick demo of successful authentication login using image auth, and then we will do a failed one where the so-called sweet spot is wrong, and then you can see that. So let me quickly get started with that. So let's look at the jar files as well as the configuration files. Now this is the workspace. It's basically it's a NetBean, and then what we have over here are the jar files. So the one which you need to import is basically the AP connector, and this AP connector has the wrapper to the Axiom Protect web services. And then there are some complementary jars which are basically for the image creation that are also being provided over here. So it's already in the package, so you'll get all this together. And then on the other hand are basically the servlets as well as the JSPs, which are basically the sample ones. The starting point is index.jsp, and if you want to create the user, then it will be create the user over here. So meaning that we will basically take the username, email ID, and mobile and create the user, and then in the index where we want to do the login, it will basically be the user ID. Yeah. Now let's look at the two files. So the first file is for connecting to the particular Axiom Protect server. So over here it supports I would say round robin clustering or round robin HA, where you can actually have multiple Axiom Protect servers kind of used as a group or used as a cluster, where round robin algorithm is used for passing on all the requests that are coming in. So that's where you can set in at 5 or this thing. So in my example I'm just setting it as 1, and I'm just giving the IP as well as the port and also specifying whether it's yes or no. So if I want logging, I will be putting in as yes, or I'll be putting no for logging, and then if it's secure, I'll be putting yes, which means HTTPS. So over here our web service are HTTPS enabled, so we're putting as yes, and the port for HTTPS is 7443. Yeah, so the other configuration file is the credentials that will be provided to you. So essentially there are 3 credentials. The first credential is your channel ID, login ID, and the password. So where you get it from is essentially from our dashboard that the system owner will be passing it to you. Yeah, so I'm just quickly showing over here where you can get it from. So I go into the channel management, then in the channel management I will get to see the channels, and then in the channels I can actually go and say edit channel, and in the edit channel these are the 2 values which I need to pick it up from here. So this can be controlled by the channel owner, so you need to go and ask the channel owner what is the basically the access login and the password for that. Yeah, and this also specifies that what is the time the session will expire. So basically whenever any web service needs to be called, they have to have a session created with Axiom, and under that session ID you can do all the transactions. So it's something like a logging into the Axiom and then only proceeding ahead. Yeah. So what I'll quickly show you is that over here there is no user. So I'll just create a user called test user. So I'll just show you that there is no user right now. Yeah. So now let's go back and we'll go through the first part. Sorry, we have covered the first part. Now we're going to the second part, that is create API. Now in the create API, it's basically the JSP page which will take these values. So let me take test Vikram 123. I'll just put my email ID. Email ID and phone number are needed if you want to do some other forms of authentication, like out of band or push notification and stuff like that, sending registration code. So we are not really concerned about that, but that's needed for creating a user. So over here I'm coming in and creating a user. So sorry for this part, it's just a demo, so we forgot this. So but user is successfully created. Yeah. So let me go back and search this user. Oops, sorry, I think I made a mistake. Yeah, test Vic Yeah, okay, as you could see that this user is created immediately just now, and this is the user ID that I'll be using. And then also secure phrase or image authentication is not assigned till now. Yeah, so this user is created and does not have image authentication. Okay, so now let's go back and do a quick login for this user, that is test Vikram123. So now what I'm going to go through now is the part 3, which is basically image authentication. So that's where when the user comes for the first time, they need to go through the process of registration. So over here I'll put my text. So let's say I'll just put as pop3, yeah, and then I'll pick up my color, and then I'll say get the images. So over here the scripts are already being provided. So what essentially we are doing is that when we are calling redirect, it's basically pushing me to this particular page, and which is checking if the user has image authentication and if the coordinates are set or not. So obviously it is going to be false. So when it is false, it's going under and it's actually asking for second factor authentication. Yeah, image authentication registration. So coming back, so I'm picking up my sweet spot over here. So it's being selected, and then I will say save. Now once I do save, this user will have the image in the orange color with pop3 as their image saved, and then after that they will be having a sweet spot which is invisible to the eyes and only user will know. So I'll say save. So image gets saved. Yeah, so now let's go back, quickly check. Yeah, so this particular user has got the image authentication activated. Yeah, so if you want to remove it, you can remove it from the dashboard, or if you want to look at the audit trail, you can actually look it from the audit trail. I will not go into the details. Okay, now let's quickly look at whether I got an image created or not. So as you would see, pop3 is being created. So again, in the system, there will not be any physical files kept. It's just to showcase to you, we have kept the physical file just to show that the image is actually created and pushed into the system. Okay, so quickly going back, I'll come back again and I will input this user Vikram test 123, and then it will, sorry, I think I did something wrong. 1 second. Yeah, Vikram 123. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So over here it's showing me the image, which is my image that I've set. Now I'm asked to input my sweet spot. So I need to pick up the sweet spot and then I will be logging in. Okay, so over here, as I put the right sweet spot, I was able to successfully come inside. If I had input a wrong sweet spot, then you will see that I am actually not allowed, or it will push me to the other page. So I'm clicking it anywhere else, and then as you would see that it is failed. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was the usage part. So again, quick recap, we'll pass you this particular workspace that will have all the JSP pages and also the servlets which will be used for your reference, and you can quickly understand that how exactly the code is flowing in context of integration of image authentication with your server-side application. Yeah. So thank you so much. Please do drop me an email if you have any problems to vikram@mulatech.com or our support @mulatech.com. Yeah, so these are the two emails which you can use. I would prefer if you send it to support, so that will be more prompt reply from our side. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.